Okay, so here's some doom and gloom, reality, all of that. Because I don't really talk politics. I talk people. The human conditioning is what drives, supports countries, nations. You don't want a dictator in charge. So what do? You rise up. These countries, just go in there and kill that person, and then put someone else in charge that might do some good, but then you kill that person because they're not a dictator. So then you get a dictator in charge and everything is right and you feel good. Feel like you did something. So in this case, for the United States, people here, this is what's going down. All right. So Trump and others help this inflation, but it's greedflation. Okay, I understand that eggs should be like, let's say, $2 for a dozen. Let's just flat out $2 for a dozen. Just throw in the price. So once people get scared and there's a shortage of eggs because you have to kill off a whole bunch of chickens, well, hens, because of bird flu and other illnesses, yeah, it's going to raise the price because, rare. If it's rare, you raise the price. So that'll put it up at about 230. And that's about, people complain. But then you got those that say, well, you can go up 230. We don't really care. It'll come back down once the population come back up. Then you put a tariff on someone, so now it's not 230. It should go up to about maybe 242. But the company says, we're not paying that. So what are we gonna do? Well, we're not gonna be 242. It's gonna be 262. They put on another tariff that should put it to about 285, but they're gonna put it at about 301. But they realize we don't want to really pay all that, so they got to put the cost on you. See that's when it's greedflation, and then it's going to be like 415. But then it happens, right? How much are you willing to pay for these eggs? So then it goes up to about $5 or $6. What's your cutoff point? You're mad. You're blaming everyone but the corporations. You're not going to jump on the politicians and say, hey, look, if you don't make them lower the prices, we're going to make sure you're voted out immediately as soon as your time is up, or somehow make a special election or something. If you don't get these prices, you don't make them get these prices down, that's it. But see, they can't because this is a capitalist society. So what happened is you're angry, right? And it's justly so. You're angry, but then the prices kind of lower about 5 or 10 cents. You're like, you know what? They came down a little bit. Now you feel good. You know what they should be. So instead, you just still mad. So you're gonna blame the other side or your own side. When you blame your own side, you just be quiet because you can't do nothing about that, right? Because all you're gonna do is vote for the same side anyway, right? So you're mad. Then all of a sudden the price of eggs so for some reason hit about $7. Now you're enraged, but you're gonna buy them eggs, ain't you? Or you just might not. So after the price goes up, they say, look, the wave is over. The wave is over. Price is gonna come down. So now eggs are, it's like $4 now, right? So you remember when it was like $6, $7, and $8. So you're like, you know what? This is good. This is all right. And so you good with the $4 for about a year, and then all of a sudden, eggs are on sale, for $4.05 or 10 cents when they was $4.50. But but you ain't thinking about that. You're just thinking that you're getting a deal, and then you just stay where you are. And that's why I say to everyone, shut the fuck up about rising prices. Just deal with it like you always have. It sucks, but just shut up. Prices go up and you ain't fighting it and you don't care. You just want to be mad. Just shut the fuck up and buy the shit. I wanted to go down too, but it ain't. And we ain't gonna force it, so let's just deal with it.